Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales? Dun, 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 dun. Chap tales. Howdy, strangers. Alright, peeps, what is happening? It is time for another chap tale. What have we got today? Okay, so yeah, as usual, dig in the barrel, the under seat locker. Yeah, alright, so I was just thinking about stories, and I thought of this one. This is back when I was 17 years young. So I've got a pal called Dave, and he's known to everyone everyone in Kentish Town, I think, as Army Dave, because he was in the Royal Artillery. Well, anyway, it was one Saturday, and the day before, on the Friday, I had a little bit of an accident on a moped in Camden. It was mad. Like, I was driving down Camden Street to where the junction is with Camden Road, and then I was in the third lane, if you like, out of four, and on the fourth lane is where you would go right onto Camden Road, but my lane, you're just getting straight down Camden Street. C2 bus next to me. I'm coming down the side of the bus as we get into the thing, because obviously the bus is slowing down to turn right, and then all of a sudden the bus has just like whacked its brakes on, and do you know what I mean? I could tell because like the whole back of the bus lifted up as he hit the brakes. So I'm coming down the side of the bus thinking, why is he braking like that? And then boom, this fella's run out into the road, and I hit him. And yeah, we'll save that. I don't even know if I've told that story, but maybe not. If not, I will put it up. But this ain't about that story. This is about the aftermath. So anyway, ended up having, like, the bike was written off. So was the fella that it hit, and I was out a bit, and we got taken to the UCH hospital by ambulance. Only time in my life I've had that. Had a trip in an ambulance. So yeah, anyway, so next day is Saturday morning, whatever, and then my pal is on leave from the army, and he's come up, Dave, so he's in my house, and we're sitting in the kitchen, me, Dave, and my mum, and we're talking about this accident I've had, and they're all just like, Dave and my mum, they're both saying how dangerous bikes are, and you need to get off bikes, it's no good, do you know what I mean? Like, you got, and yeah, bikes were great, but to tell you the truth, they're true, they're right, because they are dangerous, and most of the time it ain't the bike driver that's the dangerous one, it's the surroundings that they're in, and do you know what I mean? You can't stop people from running out in the road, and do you know what I mean? And well, could have been a tank coming to find Dave. Anyway, yeah, so we're chatting about it, and we're saying we've got to get off bikes, whatever, and this is like I think it's early in the year, January, I think. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just turned 17 like November before, so this is a couple of months after my 17th birthday. So we're sitting there, and like Dave's like saying, why don't you get driving lessons and, you know what I mean, get a car? And my mum's like, yeah, actually I think that a bit. And then all of a sudden the phone's ringing in the ass, and straight away, because my old man, a very loud voice, you can hear him on the blower, all right, Mayor, all right, Mayor. That's what he used to say to my mum. Like, they weren't together, he was married to another lady, but anyway, he's like, all right, Mayor, where is he? Put him on the phone, I want to speak to my son. And then she sort of told my dad what had happened the day before, like that I'd had this bike accident or whatever in Camden and that, and that she was saying her and Dave were there telling me to get off the bike and get into a car, you know what I mean, a bit more protection around you and all that. And he's like, what's happened to him? Oh, bloody hell, I'm coming up, I'm coming. Straight away you can hear my mum saying, no, you don't need to come up, you don't need to come up. He's like, I'm coming up. So anyway, he turns up at the door, comes in. Like, he used to like Dave as well, because Dave was a soldier in the British Army, you know what I mean, he had a lot of respect for him and that, and yeah. So anyway, so he's come in, he's come up to me, he's like, right, that's it, these bloody mopeds, you've got to get off them. And I was like, oh, Dad, I'm all right, don't worry, I'm all right. And he's like, nah. He goes, we're gonna go and get you some lessons, right? We're gonna go and, right, come on. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, Dave, come on, you come with us, mate. I was like, well, where are you going? He goes, don't worry, I've got a motor downstairs. I was like, Dad, you ain't even got a driving licence. What do you mean you got a motor downstairs? He's like, don't worry about it, I know how to drive. I was like, what? So he's took me and Dave downstairs. Like, Dave's looking at me as if to say, what's your old man's a bit of a nutter, really? What's going on here? Do you know what I mean? I've been to Afghanistan. And your dad's a nutter. And I was like, oh, I don't know, Dave, let's just see what's happening. So we go downstairs, and he's got his wife's car down there, some little rickety old white thing that they had. I don't even know what it was. So he's like, right, get in, Dave, get in the motor. It's like, what do you mean? So we've like got in this car, like straight away with a seat belting up, all that. Like, I was like, Dad, I've never even seen you drive a car before. What's going on? He's like, don't worry. I used to drive a motor back in the day, you know what I mean, when it had to be done. So, oh, yeah. So anyway, so we get in this car, and he pulls off, like, and he drives to the end of Ingester, like leaving the estate onto Burley Road or whatever. And he's like, right. He goes, there's a couple of your older pals that have got driving licenses, and where's that place they go to get, you know what I mean? I was like, well, it's down the bottom of Kentish Town High Road. It's called Andy's, and I think quite a lot of people around Kentish Town learn to drive at Andy's. Like, so he's like, all right, let's go down to Andy's. So he's drove down to Andy's. Like, we pulled up across the road from Andy's on Kentish Town High Road or whatever, and then we sort of all got out of the car, went over the road and that, and we went up to the door, and that the door was locked. And then we've realised there's a big sign up saying that they're closed for some reason or the other, and to come back next week or whatever. And I was like, oh, Dad, come, let's just go back, like, it's shut, you know what I mean? Like, so we get back in the car, and he's like, no. He goes, we're not far from Holloway, I know a place in Holloway. I was like, well, what are you talking about? So anyway, he carried on down Kentish Town High Road, and he's gone onto Camden Street, well, basically where I had the accident, but he's done a left at Camden Road, so he's like the other side of the junction from where I had this accident. Anyway, so he's gone left onto Camden Road and gone down to Holloway, straight over like onto Seven Sisters and that, and then chucked a right. I can't remember what the street's called, but it's behind where there was like either a Morrison's or a Safeways, I can't remember. And then he's gone into their car park, like, and then he's like you go up a little ramp, it's a couple of floors high, there's like somewhere to park on the roof of this place as well or whatever. And anyway, as he started going up this little thing, he goes, bloody hell, this reminds me from back in the day. He's put his foot down, he's going up this windy thing to the roof, like shifting, like shoo. I was like, Dad, can't just stop, just calm down. Dave's in the back, like, do you know what I mean? Oh God. So we get to the roof, and anyway, he finds a space and parks up. We get out, and he's like, yeah, I know this place on Holloway Road. We're going there. I was like, all right. So anyway, we walk out onto Holloway Road, and I think we went left, actually, like towards Highbury. And then we walk all the way, like, to nearly up to Highbury, you know what I mean? And he's like, we must have walked past it. And he's walked back down. He's like, this is a nightmare. I was like, Dad, what are you doing? Anyway, after spending an hour walking up and down Holloway Road, we didn't find any place that done driving lessons. So we get back down to like where Safeways is or Morrison's, whatever it is, and we're like, right, let's just go home. Come, let's go back up to the car and go home. And then I think my mobile phone started ringing. Yes, it very new to mobile phones back then, but it was like one of the first mobile phones you could get or whatever back then anyway. So it's my mum, and I'm like, all right, mum. She's like, are you all right? What's going on? I was like, we're in Holloway. Like, we tried to go to Andy's, not open. So he thought he knew a place in Holloway Road, but we can't find nowhere. And she's like, well, I've got the Yellow Pages out here, and there's a big advert for the AA. Why don't you just do it with them? And I was like, I said this to my dad, like, and he's like, all right, yeah, all right, we'll go back. So we drove back frantically back to our Ingestar, you know what I mean, like up Tufnell Park Road and all that, like bit mental with him driving anyway. So he's parked the car up downstairs. We've gone up to my house, and my mum's in the kitchen or whatever, and she's got this Yellow Pages out, and there's a big advert for the AA driving lessons or whatever. So they've rang up the AA, and and they've got me my first lesson for the next day. Do you know what I mean? Because I already had a driving license, provisional license, because I was driving bikes on a CBT. Anyway, so we booked the lessons, and then they came to get us the next day or whatever, and then so I mean, like, but it was mental, like, 'cause my dad's a nutter when he's driving, you know what I mean, like flying up here, flying up there. But it was quite funny, because this was all my dad's idea, the whole thing to do you know what I mean? I am actually glad that he done it, because I did do my lessons, and then within a couple of months I had a driving license, and do you know what I mean? That led to me having my job at UPS and whatever. But yeah, but do you know what's funny, right? He was giving it the big, and I'm gonna book you 15 lessons and pay for them and all that, like. So anyway, my mum's phoned up whatever, and then she gets to the bit where she's got to pay with the card or whatever for these lessons, like, and then she's like looking at my dad saying, are you paying for these then? And he's like, yeah, if you just get it and I'll give you the money back, is that all right? Yeah. But so my mum ended up paying for the driving lessons, and thank God she did, because but that was a mental time, I'll tell you that. And you should have seen Dave's face. All right, nice one. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I will speak to you soon. Please like, subscribe, smash bells, and do all them things for me, and because it will help this channel out. Nice one. All right, sweet. See you later. Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?